Ladies and gentlemen, this is Feeq Blurredman with a special long-term impersonation of Teddy because I have a cold. Teddy is also here with his inferior vocal quality. Teddy, introduce yourself.
Hey guys.
Oh, that actually hurt my feelings because I know your thought was I'm going to impersonate Feek's normal voice.
No, it's funny because I
pain's already there.
No, I put my hand on my cheek as if like I was missing that part of my beard to really get the full effect. But
also here is Ray. Ray, can you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Ray. 26 years old. I live in Houston, Texas. I'm a tourist. I work in accounting.
It's not time for you to collect any more hoes, Ray.
Hey, you said introduce myself.
Who let these hoes in my room?
Who let these hoes?
And we are bringing you a special, possibly high and tipsy episode. We are calling Blacketology. If you checked in with us, what was that, 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Sure.
Sounds right.
And on the network, the Facebook page, we are starting a thing here where we are going to be running down the top 16 as collected by us and you, the listeners, black shows of all time, and putting them in a tournament to the death to crown the greatest black TV show of all time. So the first thing I want to get out there are the rules that we created before anybody, feels shaded and starts typing away about how we left such and such off, because that definitely happened in the damn comments because folks went to read.
Nobody paid attention to the rules. That's what's up.
Why is Scandal on there?
Nobody listened and nobody read. They was just like, so I feel as if This Is Us has been criminally left.
Although Randall does a great job on that show.
So here are the rules. Number one, the show has to be off of TV in its original run, meaning it needs to have its last episode, whether it was canceled or they got to finish, had to have happened already. It can't be currently airing, which is why Scandal, This Is Us, Insecure, and all the other really dope TV shows, like it would be unfair, really, to
Sugar,
Blackish, like thank you, Obama, because I don't think we'd have all these dope ass shows without Barack Obama. Give him a quick hand.
Yeah, man.
We'll have to do this again.
Right, we kind of have to revisit this again. Black Astronauts episode 4000 in the year 2035, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it has to have finished its original run. The next rule is that it had to have had more than three seasons or more. So I used to love the show Thea. There was Teddy's favorite show was Homeboys in Outer Space.
That's right, because I like highbrow humor.
I was advocating for Black Jesus.
Like Jesus, yeah. But it had to have, but it didn't make it to 3 seasons. It's just really not fair to it or to its opponent to try to compare, 1 season's worth of quality. Because some, like, perfect full disclosure, I don't fuck with Scandal. But the first season of Scandal I thought was super dope. And if it had ended there, I'd have been like, yo, that's one of the best black TV shows ever. Mm-hmm. Seasons 5 through whatever they own now is some wild shit, and I can't wait to do this for Scandal in the future so I can all over the show. But that's because it's hard to do a show for 5-6 years, y'all. Look at Game of Thrones. Anyway, so that's the rule number 2, and
you can't just Game of Thrones.
You're just bringing up.
I'm warming up because we go fight tonight, y'all. So I don't know why. Like, why should I even come in as Feeq Blurredman? Like,
in my cup. And let's go.
My voice is extra deep. I got my hair locked up earlier. I'm feeling good about myself.
Close to a fuck boy as you gonna get.
Man. I'm at least fuck boy with an I. I'm almost there. And I'm forgetting my third rule. Help me. Oh, it couldn't be a sketch comedy, variety, or reality show. Right. So yes, stuff like the Chappelle Show, Living Color, Flavor of Love, I Love New York, things that were great entertainment and maybe even quality entertainment. It's just the matchups wouldn't really work.
All right, family. So here is exactly how the seedings were decided So out of the 16 seeds, think NCAA, henceforth Blacketology. Think of us staying in one region. So from seed 1 through 16, they were ranked. So between the last show that we did, which feel free to check it out if it's still on the feed, and some voting that we did from all of the members of BAP, we got to the first 13 seeds, and the final 3 we left up to the Facebook group, where we had a post and people voted on those final shows, which gave us a number of 16 seeds. So if anyone's not familiar with how this works, it's just like NCAA, where the first seed automatically goes against the last seed. Then the second seed goes against the second to last seed, so on and so forth, all the way until you get to 8 to 9. Tonight, we are focusing on the first round. So all the matchups that are going on, we will decide, and by the end of the show, agree, disagree, let us know, and you know where to find us in the Facebook group.
So we're going to come down to the Elite 8 by the end of tonight. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Indeed. Ray, you want to explain like the history of the Elite 8 in the NCAA?
Absolutely. So imagine it. It's just picture it. New York, 1956. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Or better yet, Ray.
Shout out to Golden Girls. I don't
Ray, can you shoot us the first matchup of the 1 seed and the 16 seed?
So the first seed is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Indeed.
And the second seed is Family Matters.
Well, the 16th, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 16th seed is Family Matters. Now, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air first aired in 1990, and the Family Matters show first aired, in 1989. So 2 shows that aired roughly around the same time. I think the Fresh Prince went until 96, and Family Matters went into May of 97. Actually,
damn.
I didn't realize they had a 7-year run. That's what's up.
No, wow. It says here, I just looked it up. It says it had a 9-year run.
No, wait. Oh, you said they were 89.
89 to 98. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry, 9 seasons. 9 seasons.
Yeah,
it says 89 to 98 on one and then 89 to 97 on the other. But according to Wikipedia, it ended a day before my 6th birthday.
That's good to know.
Just a fun fact.
So now we feel old.
So, that is our first setting. Fresh Prince versus Family Matters. Now, even though I feel like it is a very, very, very easy decision to make over who is going to win between Family Matters and Fresh Prince, I would like to make a couple of points about Family Matters.
Okay, and like you at least got to show the other team scoring a bucket. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Family Matters was a very, very, very popular show. Steve Urkel was a very popular character. It was the highlight of Jaleel White. Everybody knows the love story between Laura and I forgot his other girlfriend's name, but she tragically died, so we won't get too far. Myra.
Yes.
So everybody knows the story of Myra and Laura. There's a hot debate over whether Myra looked better than Laura. I personally think so.
I don't think there was a debate. Myra was...
I hate to always be that nigga, but I was definitely a Laura fan.
Over Myra?
Yeah, over Myra. I have the inverse of like every rapper who like they talk about like the foreign girl that's like Brazilian and Japanese or whatever and some shit like that. No,
to Laura's nose.
I like strong black features and dark skin.
So you that dude that like picks Kelly Rowland over Beyonce? Huh?
Well,
I'm not crazy.
That's no.
Okay. I just want to clarify. Okay.
But yeah, so that's a couple of the cases that I want to make for Family Matters. It did have a very long run.
Steve Urkel's character as the black nerd character became an archetype for like a million black nerd characters for the next 20 years from cartoons with I can't remember it. Grimm and the Grimm Tales. I can't remember the name of the show. Malcolm in the Middle had an Urkel-like character that was a black kid.
I remember.
Right. Everybody Loves Chris probably owes a little bit of their existence to Steve Urkel.
And the catchphrase. Shout out to Did I Do That? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Pretty sure they had a song.
I forget Waldo Faldo.
Right.
Waldo Ronaldo Faldo, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, what's her name? Judy, who went upstairs and never came back.
Yeah.
And well, she did porn.
Yep.
Not long after that.
Yep.
Well, a while after.
She was on
that.
Oprah talking about it. And I was like, what?
She went upstairs
and then I was like, what was the name?
So, yeah, I just want to say I feel like the only reason why Family Matters didn't make it higher on the list is because we as a unit were not into the show.
Yeah.
'Cause I do think that it is a very big part of like classical Black TV, especially since I feel like they were like the Black equivalent to like not Family Matters, Full House, where it was like kind of corny, kind of cheesy, family fun TV show. Yeah. But I just personally wasn't into the show. I don't think anybody else was really into the show. A part of the reason why we put it on the list, there were a lot of people who were asking in the comments on the Facebook page about why the show wasn't included on the list. And it seemed like a bit of an oversight not to add it in. So we did add it in, but it only made it to the 16th seed. And I think we can all easily agree that it is not going to beat out the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
At all. Can I just say, Harriet may have been the most accurate depiction of a Black mother at the time.
Like, that's pretty good. Yeah.
That. So that was something.
So interesting observation real quick. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I think these two shows were probably, out of all the shows we have, the most popular shows among white people.
Oh, that's
Family Matters definitely was popular among white people, or wouldn't have made it 9 seasons. And we know the Fresh Prince is a 1C for a reason. So everybody loved the Fresh Prince. Yeah. So it's interesting. And that was completely by coincidence. Mm-hmm. All right, any last words? I think we can save talking about Fresh Prince for a later date when it actually has a real fight.
Right.
Like, they ain't even put they started. So if this is like real tournament, like the starters got pulled after like the first, half.
Yeah, Family Matters got the first 2 shots and then they lost by 40. So,
right.
Yeah.
But they had a good show. They had a good run. Shout out to everybody that helped us get Family Members in the bracket because we did oversight it. But yeah. On to matchup number 2. Teddy, hit the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, but Metallica?
Yeah. I mean, that's close enough,
right?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Hey. Metallica it is. Go ahead. Okay, yeah. This is just Ray. Go ahead. This is
so the second matchup, our number 2 seed is The Cosby Show, which ran from 1984 to 1992, and Rock, which ran from 1991 to 1994.
Oh, this has strong upset.
It's not a question of if, but when the number 2 seed goes down in an upset.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rock has the firepower. I really don't.
Ooh, Rock. So I'm a cape for Rock, and then I'm gonna have to come back and think, am I willing to pull the trigger here?
Okay, let's do it.
To me, Rock is one of the best Black shows ever and should make it to the Elite 8. But I know I'm unique in that. But like Rock was so real in an era. When did Rock air again?
This was the 90s.
1991 through 94.
Really?
Yeah, so Rock aired. Yeah, it aired in an era where. So think about other things that were on TV while The Rock was on. So you got Family Matters, which is Happy Go Lucky. Steve Urkel takes potions. Cosby, just Black bourgeoisie. With a subtle undercurrent of respectability politics.
Subtle.
Just subtle at the time.
Well,
at the time, very, very subtle. Maybe a lot louder now. And so many other great shows. But there was really nothing like Rock that was on where it was really had a lot of they had a one episode where the girl's boyfriend got shot in a drive-by on his front porch.
Yeah.
They taped Rock live, so Rock was performed live.
Right.
Last 2 seasons.
Yeah, that was the whole thing about who was going to mess up first. Yeah.
Right. It's so there's so many good things about Rock.
And then like. My man Joey was a great character. Like, everybody knows at that time as a kid, the uncle who's, didn't have a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Good dude.
He was like that. Man, he was the shit, though.
Yeah. Joey was that dude. Pops was great. Eleanor, hey, she was fine. Like she was like working class mom, fine, but Eleanor was fine. And here's the thing about it: Rock had a great story off the set too. Charles S. Dutton legit went to prison, came out, started acting, did his thing. That, and I think Rudy was around that time too, where he was in there. So
Rudy?
Yeah, he was the janitor in Rudy, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he had a run.
They had the dude that played Joey. Did he do anything else ever after that? I don't recognize this dude.
You know what? I think his second greatest work, The Great White Hype, he was in that. So yeah.
Also, maybe my first super crush was the I don't remember her name. She's Kim Phil's little sister.
I didn't know Tootie had a sister that was to the Google machine.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what her name was. She also popped up on Moesha. What is this girl's name? It's something Fields.
Oh man, the third thing that came up,
Alexis Fields.
Sister. Oh yeah.
She was the first.
Yeah,
that's when I started falling in love with them big lips and.
Yeah, no, I'm here for all that. But here's the thing: let's focus on the question. Can Rock do it?
No,
because I think because here's the thing about it. Like to me, go ahead.
I think Rock would be able to beat out a lot of other TV shows, and this is what I was talking about when I said that I didn't understand why it seemed unfair to me for how they do the brackets, because I think that let's say, for example, Family Matters would have a good chance up against some other shows. I think that Rock would have a good chance up against some other shows. However, I don't think the Rock has a chance up against Cosby Show. It just doesn't. Claire Huxtable alone is more iconic than anything y'all just said.
But here's the thing about it though, like right now you have to think of the Cosby Show, if we're sticking with this analogy, as the number 2 seed, but the star player got hurt and the coach yeah like that's the best way we can describe it. But yeah, as much as it pains us,
show is
as much as it pains us, we agree with you, but it's coming is my point. It's coming.
We'll save the real fight. I think if we had eliminated Cosby with the Just Us 3, we would be wasting some really good material. Because whatever it goes up against next is going to be the true fight as to how far it goes from Elite Eight to Final Four.
Well, here we go, because it's going to have to compete next against the Fresh Prince. So this is where it really goes down.
No, that's not how. No. That's not sports logic.
Yeah. we'll show you. It's not because like the way the bracket is, like you put the number one at the top. I put
them in the wrong order. See, this is why y'all should have let me draw the fucking bracket out. Y'all don't know anything about sports. Y'all really let me do that.
It's all right. No.
We'll read.
I'll send you guys a copy of everything, and you guys can put it in the right order. You're like, no, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's my picture.
But basically, Fresh Prince is going to take on the lowest seed possible that's still around, and Cosby will take on the second lowest seed.
We'll get to that. I'm gonna just draw this out for now, and then we can correct it by the next show.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Alexis Fields is still dope, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
Still dope.
Next up, we have our third seed, which is Martin, and that is going up against Sanford and Son. Martin ran from 1992 to 1997, and Sanford and Son ran 72 to 77.
First off, Martin criminally underseeded, if you ask me.
I completely disagree.
I completely disagree. I think that Martin is very well seated. I don't think that I know.
There's no way Martin is above those first two shows.
Definitely should have been a 2.
I'd say Martin's more like a C,
if not a 1. No, I'm sticking with this.
See, now this is the thing, because I don't feel like Martin is more iconic than the Fresh Prince or the Cosby Show, but I definitely think as far as full-on comedy shows go, like with no, frills, no life lessons at the end of the episode, no corny music, Martin is by far the most popular purely comedy show that there is. Everybody I know has seen all 5 seasons of Martin's, even the 5th season that nobody even likes.
Right,
so
with no Gina
that's very well seated. Now, my question is, how does it fare up against Sanford and Son? Because I will say I've spent my fair share of time watching Sanford and Son on Nick at Night.
Sanford and Son is incredible. 8-day-old collard greens. Hold on, Elizabeth. I'm on my way. Man, Lionel. It's listen.
We have 2 icons here. We have 2.
Now
like,
that goes up against what's up. You
What's
ain't got
up?
no job, Tommy.
Yeah, the quotables of Martin, and I am the least fan of Martin out of all of us, I'm sure. But as soon as you talk about you ain't got no job, Tommy, I just can't. I can't.
You ain't got no job, Tommy. Bruh man from the 5th floor. And when you think about Shanae, when you think about
even
Roscoe.
even the moment.
No. The new Jack City moment.
Yo, when he came out with the dog?
Yes.
Yeah, come
thing,
on,
the
man.
thing in the cabana on their vacation.
Come on, dog. And then, a matter of fact, when they're in the court, you know what it stands for. G.
What's that stand for? Got to draw.
Got them draws. Come on, man. Martin.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna argue this because I think we're probably gonna all go for Martin over Sanford and Son.
Yeah, but we want to.
I'm gonna bring this back up when it's time to knock Martin's ass out because it's not gonna make
it. I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen.
Martin's has a ton. Martin has more filler episodes than a shonen anime, and y'all didn't get that joke.
No,
but Aaron and CY are gonna be like, "Yep, that's real." Because there's a ton of episodes of Martin that are useless, that are completely unmemorable, that are basically rehashes of his shit, especially when the first group of writers left. Because I think he got all new writers maybe like the 3rd season, the 2nd or 3rd season. It had to be the 3rd season. They got all new writers, and the show's quality went way down per season, in my opinion. It was not the same show.
So I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that, like I every show has that if you've been on TV for long enough. Like I'm sure if we knew Sanford and Son's catalog as well as we knew Martin's, the same thing would apply. So
maybe. Maybe because he has so many great highs, the lows are more noticeable.
Yeah, Tommy
That's possibly
Hearns.
it.
Don't mess with my mom biscuits. Like, what are we? Come on, man. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing, man. My man, all he wants to do is sing a song when he's fixing the car for Gina and Pam. Don't you know no good? Come on. So yeah,
you warmed me up. I'm gonna have to really sit back and reevaluate my perspective here. Yeah, maybe I'm just have. Maybe I went through some bad things while watching Martin. And I don't know. Transferred them over or something. I don't know.
I understand you because I do feel like on some ways Martin is not overhyped show, but it's one of those things where I think everybody kind of agrees on it. And if it wasn't that great to you, you kind of look at it crazy, like, okay, it wasn't all that.
Well, and I will say this: another thing in its favor is it definitely holds up well over time. Like fashion doesn't stand in the way. Like Martin is still funny today, man. So yeah. So is Sanford and Son, though.
Oh yeah.
Just on a different level.
Okay. So you got to the next one.
Yep.
Yes.
Next is our 4 seed, Living Single, and it is going against our 13 seed, Different Strokes. Now, Living Single aired from 93, aired in 1993 to, what was it? Sorry, I didn't write down that second number, but it aired in 93 to, I want to say about 96, 97. Okay. And then, hold on, let me see real quick. Yeah, Living Single went from 93 to 98. I was close. 93 to 98, and then Different Strokes aired from 78 to X.
Damn. Oh no, 78 to 86. No, that's long, but that's not as long as 73 to 86 though.
It's 78 to 76 though. I mean 78 to 86.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I don't fuck with Different Strokes. So y'all gonna have to fight. I'm a abstain in see where y'all go first.
Well, here's the issue. Living Single is my single greatest TV show of all time.
Yeah.
It's my go TV show. So
yeah, that's valid. No, that's valid.
Yeah, that's probably number 3 on my list.
Let me try my hardest for Different Strokes. So, Different Strokes was a reflection of the time, first off, and I think the characters were characters you hadn't seen on TV before.
I can tell you, I was born in the 90s. This show was off of TV well before I was born.
We get it.
Yeah, I saw it as a kid. I definitely did see it as a kid.
Yeah, as did I. I remember it. So, what you're talking about, Willis, yet another catchphrase.
Right.
That was
probably one of the first.
Then. Yeah. So, Arnold did that. A blended family, black sister with 2 brothers. Like, that's a thing.
White sister with 2 black brothers.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah. It wasn't there another kid, Sam, or something like that?
I don't recall. I really just never got Different Strokes. I never thought it was that funny. I was always more uncomfortable by the blended family. Maybe it's because I was a kid and my mom was a Black Panther. So like
No, I get it. And
so I don't know.
So I will say that, Mr. Drummond and them, they really did make some type of a statement that we can't relate to because we're just not of the age to really get what they were back in the day. So, Different Strokes was good for what it was.
Yeah, real quick, Different Strokes could never have been made in 2017.
I don't
it
know.
would be a completely different show. It would have to be This Is Us.
I was right. It's kind of This Is Us.
They couldn't make it as a comedy though. It's just people would be too uncomfortable by the humor.
Well,
it'd just be several episodes of the sister getting the 2 brothers out of jail.
I mean, we've come full circle where I would say that All in the Family could actually work now. Where before it was so problematic that
what was the girl kind of counterpart that kind of did some cross racial lines with Kim Fields? Come on now, y'all. Nell Carter.
Who's that?
Really?
What are we talking about?
Tootie was on it. It was.
Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Yeah,
we missed that. I feel like we haven't brought that up this whole bracket. Damn.
Yeah, for a good reason.
I don't think that Facts of Life really counts as a black TV show.
Yeah, that was one of the rules. One.
No, because Nell Carter was the one black woman, and then you had Tootie.
Wait, who?
2 black people.
Who? Nell Carter? Who is this again?
Isn't that the large woman? Am I getting Facts of Life in like a whole other show mixed up?
Yeah. No, it was just Tootie and Mrs. Gilbert or Garrett or something like that. Like,
I am getting enough.
Yeah.
Who the hell's Nell Carter?
Nobody was on Facts of Life. Moving on. So I would say that we all agree that we gotta disagree at some point, but this is Living Single. Living Single was just so good. Dude.
This is top TV shows versus bottom TV shows.
Yeah,
shows that barely made it on.
Yeah. Living Single was just really, really good. So. That's fine.
I think this next one actually might bring up a little bit of argument. I'm excited.
Yep.
Give me a break. That's what she was on.
Okay.
Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Kit Kats.
Feeq. We'll make sure that we keep that in mind. You guys ready for the next matchup?
Yep.
Yes.
So next we have our number 5 seed of Different World, and our 12 seed, My Wife and Kids. I am ready to argue.
Yeah, Different World is my number 1 seed. You have to fight me.
Yeah. So what? So you were a fan of My Wife and Kids, right?
Absolutely.
As was I.
Wife and Kids. Well, A Different World aired from 87 to 93. And My Wife and Kids aired from 01 to 05. Now, let me stake my claim. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
My Wife and Kids, hilarious.
It was funny.
Yeah.
It had one of the Wayans, Tisha Campbell, and their host of children, all 3 hilarious. Multiple very, very funny episodes. Let's say, for example, the one where he was trying to figure out who spilled the drink in his stereo. Great episode.
That made me laugh. I give you that.
I think that their show was very realistic in the sense that at one point their son Junior got his girlfriend pregnant.
Right, had a baby.
Yeah. That was real. I fucks with that.
They did a cool thing like the Fresh Prince where they switched the daughter out without explaining anything, and that was fine. She was dark skinned at one point, the light skin at the other. Contrary to the Fresh Prince, the light skinned sister was much better than the dark skinned sister. She's better written. Hey.
Also, it was Blank Man married to Gina. You know what I'm saying? Like these are two. Yeah, these are.
It was they were a very average family in the sense that they were, both had pretty decent jobs, raised kids. The kids are pretty normal. The daughter was absolutely in love with the other little boy, who was borderline genius. I think he is like actually a genius in real life. It was a great show. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent with this. Okay.
All right.
I, Raven, have never seen an episode of Different World.
All right, so everything you just edit out all the shit you just did.
And
Right.
so that is why I feel compelled to argue for my wife and kids versus Different World.
Before I state the obvious, why? Why not? Why not?
Well,
it's on Netflix, bro.
It's a spinoff of The Cosby Show, and I've probably seen 4 episodes of The Cosby Show.
So I can give you not circling back to The Cosby Show, because The Cosby Show is a relic of its time. Different World, timeless.
Yeah, man.
And that's what I hear, and that's what they say, and they're like, "Oh, it's the reason why." People are like, "It's the reason why I went to HBCU and all that stuff."
Yeah,
That. I feel that. I hear that. I was in college, and college wasn't that great. So
you didn't go to a black college.
I was in a state that had 2 black colleges, and I still chose a PWI. Yeah. So
that's because you didn't watch Different World. Right. You see how you fucked up? You see
or it's because let me not do this. I'll get some hate mail, but I'm going to say that HBCUs that are in my home state, and they're out there first of all in my hometown.
Oh, Central? Is that
and which is across the street, and then to the Lord. This is going to start arguments. And then the amenities that were available at the PWI in which I attended were much better than the amenities at the.
Nobody will ever fight you. Yo, the registration, like all of that. I was
not willing to stay in some of the dorms looking the way they did for the amount that they were trying to charge me at a HBCU. When I can pay roughly that same amount for a beautiful campus at a PWI, just wasn't willing to do it.
So I'm not going to guarantee that if you'd went to HBCU, you'd have been so much better, especially if you went to, for lack of a better way of putting it, some of the second and third tier HBCUs, lower tier.
Oh, shit now.
Yeah. Look, as a person that went to a top tier HBCU, I have no problem throwing shade.
Okay.
But there's there's the top tier, your Howard, Hampton, Clark, Spelman, Morehouse, FAM.
Yeah.
Help me out. I feel like I got at least 2 more.
It used to be Grambling, but they've gone.
Yeah, no, it's not Grambling.
I said it used to be.
Maybe North Carolina A&T.
I feel like one in Texas has to be in there. I don't know which one though.
Probably not Prairie View or maybe Texas Southern. Maybe, but not really.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't think Texas makes it. It's all about the SEC coast for the HBCUs. That whole coastal. Section for that top tier. Now the other tier, the second tier is still dope. Your Southerns in Louisiana, your TSUs,
A&M,
which A&M?
Alabama,
A&M, etc. They're still dope. But once you start getting to your Philanders and some of the other ones you ain't heard of,
Morris Brown.
See, I can't. I don't. That's I can't really fuck. I can't fuck with you with that because Morris Brown was still around when I was there, and it was hard. Knowing that happened on my watch, I felt I legit see why I tell you too. We legit felt like somehow we fucked up because that happened during the middle of our. But we getting off the subject. Get off the subject. I'm sorry. That's how fucking good A Different World is. All right, Different World. I'm gonna save it for when we really got to fight.
Yeah.
But the Different World has everything. It has funny ass moments. It has memorable characters. It has drama. It has attractive characters. It's got a great, a fucking amazing love story. It's got behind the scenes lore and drama after what's her name left after the first season. It was like, we're going to go great.
Daughter,
right. It has legends on there. Denise, yes. It has legends on there. It's just, to me, I expect this in Fresh Prince to be the championship game. We'll see, because they might end up having to fight Fresh Prince soon. I don't know.
Martin's in there, but so yeah, I Different World is incredible, and in all fairness, I think that My Wife and Kids is a good show, but I've never heard someone say the following sentence: "You know what my favorite show is? My Wife and Kids." No one's ever said that.
They're not doing a 20-year reunion for My Wife and Kids.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
2025.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next one might be a little interesting. We have our 6th seed, The Wire, which ran from 02 to 08. And then we have our 11th seed, which is New York Undercover.
Wow, did we
Yeah,
do
so
that
we completely
did this on accident.
We completely
Wow.
did. But shout out to this game. This is the one that
why-
everybody's
so-
circling. Oh man,
Right, and so this is why. So Ray, this is why they do the brackets the way, because shit like this
I'm
happens.
willing to fight over, honestly.
Yeah.
Like this next one, after this one, I'm willing to.
This is mine right here, because if memory serves me correct, neither one of you guys have watched The Wire, right?
I
have
have
never watched The Wire.
Undercover. I have seen The Wire.
Okay, that's what it was. I'm sorry, I think it was Lloyd that hasn't seen The Wire. All right,
No, I haven't seen it either. I'm the weirdo.
Okay.
I don't know what. I think I was pledging when it first started,
understand.
and then
Life
I got a
life is
girlfriend.
weird when that happened. I get it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
I am pulling for, obviously, The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is why. The Wire was a groundbreaking TV show
Right.
that showed the underbelly and the reality of the drug game and multiple different illegal things going on in Baltimore. So it wasn't just drugs. It was also prostitution with the docks.
Docs, yeah.
Elections.
Drugs
it
with an
just
international connection with the Greeks. Yeah.
It was a show that really brought reality and scale to a TV show. It made people look at it, juxtaposed drug dealers in Baltimore against the white collar criminals versus politicians versus blue collar criminals who were doing things that weren't illegal, but it wasn't necessarily selling drugs. And it put all of those different categories of people up against each other, but then also up against police officers.
So, Feeq, I guarantee you, if and when you ever decide to watch it, try at some point while watching the season that's dedicated to the school system.
That hurts so bad.
Yep.
It is a show that it's full of emotion. It's definitely realistic in the way that things are done. I don't feel like there was ever a moment where they tried to save anyone or keep anyone who didn't deserve to be kept around. It showed both quote unquote good cops and kind of like shitty cops, old school cops versus new school cops. It showed old school drug dealers. It had, for example, Stringer Bell, gave birth to one of the best gifts of all time.
Yeah, shout out to Weebay. Yeah.
Shout out to Weebay.
We actually used it this week.
I need to see what you're talking about.
In the Facebook chat. The brother that's sitting there looking puzzled, gets his hand on his chin like, what?
And he's just like,
is that
Yeah,
is that from The Wire?
That's from The Wire.
That is from The Wire.
Yeah,
that is
from The
eBay. It showed the difference in like drug dealers who were born to be in the game and people who were put into the game, how they get into the game, how a lot of them have to get out of the game. We have young murderers. It's an absolutely ridiculous 100% authentic show. The only thing that The Wire has working against it is that it does not age well.
Well, just because one of the main plot points around pagers and payphones, so that's
like when they start to get around to cell phones, it's kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, they are sending these text messages.
But it's very,
it doesn't age well.
Yeah, the technology is off, but the characters there's so many.
Kima.
Come on, dog. Kima.
Oh, now Kima.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kima's fine.
So all right. So we spoke about The Wire. The
Listen,
other show that I love, New York Undercover. Feeq, go ahead, man.
Now wait. So add this about New York Undercover. It received the most votes in the Facebook chat. It got like 21 votes.
Yeah.
So it received the most votes out of the Facebook chat. I mean, out of the Facebook group. So that is working in the favor of it. Everybody does seem to be on board. And I will say that New York Undercover is before my time. So I am willing to listen.
New York Undercover is like that low seed, but it's got a top 3 NBA pick on it. Like,
okay. Okay.
Yeah, so New York Undercover. So, and this is not directly opposing what you're saying.
Okay.
But New York Undercover was groundbreaking. And if you compare New York Undercover's groundbreaking to The Wire's groundbreaking, it doesn't compare. The Wire's groundbreaking doesn't really compare. Because The Wire came around.
How would you know? You haven't seen it.
You don't
understand. So Teddy, you tell me.
Okay. Teddy, have you seen both?
Oh yeah.
Seen both, right?
Okay.
I love both.
Okay.
Which show was more of a challenge to the status quo of the time? Because if I know The Wire, I know that The Wire had one thing that New York Undercover did not have, which is a multitude of white main cast members. New York Undercover did not have that. New York Undercover was a black dude and a Puerto Rican dude and eventually a Puerto Rican woman.
Yeah, who was bad as well. But here's
in Wire's defense, it wasn't a large cast of white characters. Like there were more white characters in later season as when they went to the docks and stuff like that. But just as many as there were white characters, there were black characters when we're talking about the drug gang.
Right. And I'll say this to piggyback on Ray. The Wire was still groundbreaking because even though the casting may have been more traditional than New York Undercover, the way that the characters were portrayed, I had never seen before.
Thank you. Bell, for example, he was portrayed as a person who was dealing in the drug game, but he ran his drugs as a business, and he was also a person who was trying to use the Jay-Z formula of using drugs in order to fund other things to get into more to make their money legit.
Yeah, like Omar. Never seen a character like that before in my life. Like incredible character. Yeah. So, but here's a shout out to New York Undercover as well, though, because I think that there's something to be said about it being on broadcast TV, Fox, that there was nothing but a minority cast. I think the police chief was a woman, if I'm remembering that.
And they added a white dude in the 3rd season.
Oh, okay.
But they had 2 whole seasons with no white people, except for the chief, who, the chief was still a chief character. So you got 10-15 minutes of them all together.
Yeah.
And it was an acting toward divorce because Malik Yoba.
How many like main characters were in New York Undercover? 3. Like
3.
The 3. See, now with The Wire, there was a solid 5 to 6.
I would even say
even more than that.
Yeah.
I'm just it down to like when I'm thinking of like the first season where it was like 3 to 4 main cops, Kima, McNulty, and one other person that you can throw in there versus like Weebay, Stringer Bell, and then maybe like one of the kids.
Now, you still can't poo-poo
New York Undercover gave us Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. You mean The Wire gave us Michael? Oh, Michael B. Jordan. Okay. But New York Undercover gave Malik Yoba, who was the first. He was the first super chocolate dude after Wesley to like be everywhere.
Let me look his face up. I don't know him.
You'll know him. He's a little older now.
Okay.
He's like 50. Damn.
How do you spell it?
It's MALIKYOBA. He done much since.
Okay,
he was definitely a sex symbol in his time.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
And shout out to I think our first crossover. I'm pretty sure his son on the show was also Junior from My Wife and Kids.
Oh, can I also?
He was.
If you want to say that it gave us Mike Yorba, it gave us Idris Elba full on, like Idris Elba with an American accent.
Yeah, you can't really fight.
With the only accent he's able to do, and that's not British. Like when he was in, I never forget watching the Tyler Perry movie that he was in.
Oh,
and he's supposed to fight like the SWATs, and he still sounds like he's from Brooklyn. It's like,
Let me tell you something. First of all, Okay, it is very impressive that he can do an American accent without any flinching. Like I didn't know that he wasn't American until after the show. So you watch your fucking mouth.
I get that. I'm just saying the Baltimore Northeastern accent does not belong on Arden Avenue in Southwest Atlanta. I'm just saying.
So let's wrap this up.
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say real quick. Every episode of New York Undercover started with contemporary hip hop, loud as fuck. Usually followed by people.
Well, and you know what? Also, it ended with a performance in the bar of like the dope artists of the time on New York Undercover. So hella exposure. You know what? Come to think of it, that's probably why it doesn't play as much, because the clearance from all the music.
Probably.
Yeah, but yeah, man. For me, to be clear, I'm still The Wire all day.
Okay.
I wish I had.
I was gonna say let's do our official last vote. So I'm The Wire. Feeq.
I wish I had somebody with me here to cape for New York Undercover. Can we table this until?
Nah,
no,
that's not the way it works.
Damn it!
So it's New York Undercover or The Wire. Feeq.
For me, it's definitely New York Undercover.
All right.
And Teddy.
The Wire.
Now look, I was really nervous about that because I really thought Teddy was going with New York Undercover on that.
No. But I do love New York Undercover, but no, it can't compete to my love.
Okay.
The Wire must be a better show then, because I can't believe New York Undercover is going to this early.
Show.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll give you the HBO login if you need it. I mean, come on, man.
I got the HBO login.
Actually, on Amazon, you can.
I don't have that type of. Well, you know what? We were looking for a new TV show to binge, so we might do that. I'm gonna go ahead. We can start that tomorrow night.
Please do. Or I mean, just do it after half and half.
Nah, yeah, you gotta have priorities.
I just feel like
whatever you're about to say, that's how you should feel for like half and half. You tell us a NyQuil earlier, right?
And y'all have to be like that for half and half.
I usually say duck and Ray. I'm like, I'm going for feet ahead.
Yeah, still. Yeah. All right, come on.
Next, we have the Boondocks, which is our Boondocks, which is our 7th seed, and Everybody Hates Chris versus our 10 seed. This one's hard for me.
Ooh, this is tough.
This is tough because Boondocks, I watched that all 5 seasons, even the one we don't like to talk about. I watched all of the seasons, and it was a sensation while it was on.
Yeah.
But then Everybody Hates Chris was a show that I watched after it went off, and I was so upset that I didn't watch it when it was on. I am torn immensely.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my chips down.
Okay.
The Boondocks made me cry once or twice.
Whoa.
Yeah, I never forget the episode where Riley was drawing murals on the side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried when they plugged in "Reminisce Over You." Like, I'm getting a little misty eyed now just thinking about it. I don't know what was going on in my life, because I was in college and I was probably like in a really good place. But like when I saw it, I was like, oh man, that's like dope and just like beautiful. But the Boondocks was just it's not funny enough to beat Everybody Hates Chris. There's a lot of Boondocks hasn't aged well for me. There, except for a couple episodes, like I was mad at the Boondocks because they stole all my Tyler Perry jokes. Like, I swear to God, somebody writing, because I was hating on Tyler way before Boondocks did.
But I also feel like Boondocks, that Tyler Perry episode, it was the same jokes that everybody made about Tyler Perry.
Well, no, to be fair, nobody was getting on Tyler Perry at that point in time.
Really?
Really. Tyler Perry was no. I swear to listen. No. Go to if you are a premium member, understand that I was like hating. I was real ugly on Tyler Perry for like the first 100 episodes of our show. And you can go back and you can kind of watch as I'm the only person hating on him, and everybody's like, yeah, he's not that good, but give him a break. Till finally, when it became clear that he was just an official meme of the black community, and the Boondocks episode hit. I feel like that particular episode had to have hit. If it didn't hit after the show, after we started the show, it definitely hit at a time. Because I remember thinking and talking to people being like, I've been saying all these things about Tyler Perry for like a year. And now people are going to think I watched this episode of the Boondocks. And I was just so like, I wish Aaron was here to co-sign me. Mm-hmm. Nobody was hating on Tyler Perry until the Boondocks called him out.
So I was, I'm a longtime fan. I was listening to BAP. And you were in early on the Tyler Perry hate. I will say that.
Thank you.
Okay.
But that being said, I mean, I wouldn't just stop there describing the Boondocks either. I
went really hard on the Tyler Perry episode, and I can now.
It's a great episode. I'm just bitter.
Oh yeah. Full disclosure, though, I have seen every episode of the Boondocks 1,000 times. Okay, I have all of the seasons on DVD, and it's partially because it's a little bit easier to amass all the episodes of Boondocks than it is to amass all the episodes of Everybody Hates Chris.
Right.
That's just full disclosure. Now, with that being said, I think of iconic episodes of the Boondocks. I think of Catcher Freeman. I think of the Santa Claus episode. Everybody knows all the words to Riley's letter to Santa Claus. I think
Martin Luther King.
The Martin King episode. I think about Stinkmeaner. I think about what is it? The one where Riley was selling chocolate, and it was just like a whole Guy Ritchie episode.
Right.
Those are
fuck
really
the Queen. Fuck crumpets. Fuck biscuits.
Yes, all of that. And then I think about, but Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody Hates Chris, I think, is another one of those shows that had a relatively realistic idea of a black family, in the sense that there was a mother and there was a father, and the dad was really cheap, and the sister was, a manipulative psycho, as younger siblings have a tendency to do. There was a loser older brother and the much, much cooler younger brother. They tackled some.
Just out of curiosity, are you the younger sibling or the older?
I would actually be the older sibling, but I'm actually the middle child. I was just kind of the uncool middle child.
Nice.
But what else? I mean, for me, there are some prolific episodes for me. For example, the episode when everybody was lying to each other and the mom was secretly smoking. The dad had a porn video. He had a pornographic pen, and it was just all this other stuff. Like, there's episodes of Everybody Hates Chris. I can't choose. So I really need for you guys.
So here's another weird thing. I actually haven't seen every episode of Everybody Hates Chris, but every episode I've seen of it, I just love. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I'm just saying it's like 6 or 7 seasons, so it's more difficult to have. It's much more easier to have seen every episode of the Boondocks than it is to see Everybody Hates Chris.
Because they really Boondocks. The only knock against the Boondocks is, to me, it had 2 seasons. 2 strong seasons, and also I got
3.
But third one, yeah.
No, the 4th. It was the one that was kind of
Oh, is that where Magruder left?
3 good seasons, and then the 4th one was
Okay, got you. But here's the thing, though. The reason why I'm still going with the Boondocks is, I think I've watched maybe 2 episodes of Everybody Hates Chris, and it wasn't. I know. It's just. The way, I don't know, in my life I just wasn't watching a lot of TV at the time, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, man, I enjoyed it. But in all fairness, I am still holding a grudge from Chris in the role that he played on The Walking Dead. It's his fault.
What?
Yep, it's his fault that another character died.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying. Yep. All right, I'm out.
Teddy. Grow up.
Petty.
Listen,
It's his fault, man.
Teddy, stop.
Why do we have
All right, well, so Ray, that means it's gonna come down to you, because I'm voting for Everybody Hates Chris. Teddy's voting for Boondocks.
Oh my God, no!
Yeah.
I want
Let's do
y'all to just solve it and leave me out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's do it.
Can I catch my breath? Okay, let me think. Boondocks or Everybody Hates Chris? I can't breathe.
Nice dramatic pause.
If it helps you, I feel like the Boondocks has a better chance at the next round than Everybody Hates Chris.
I don't care about that though.
Okay, that's all I had.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Really,
Because I'm trying to think of, okay, if it came down to it, and it was about, okay, Ray, we're going to spend all day watching Everybody Hates Chris, or we're going to spend all day watching Boondocks. Which would I watch?
I think that's a very easy answer.
It is for me too. But I don't know if that's a fair assessment, because I feel like a part of the reason I would choose Everybody Hates Chris is because I haven't seen every episode. I have seen every episode of the Boondocks.
To me, it would be the fact that I just couldn't take watching every episode of the Boondocks. More than like I didn't watch more than 3 episodes in a row of the Boondocks. It's too like So here, let me give one last argument for it. Everybody Hates Chris ages well in that. Excuse me, sorry. It's not as heavy-handed and overt about its messages. They're a little more subtle. There's more warmth to them. There's more warmth to the whole show. And the Boondocks is like, in retrospect, incredibly cynical, which is Aaron McGruder himself is very cynical.
But to kill a Kung Fu wolf bitch, Feeq.
I get it. I get it. Cheddar biscuits. You came with cheddar biscuits.
Okay. See why it's going to be so mad at me for this. Okay. I am going to choose. Fuck. Damn. God. This is too hard.
Flip a coin. That's how they would legit do it.
Yeah, hold on. I got a coin. I still got the same coin.
Okay, flip coin. I really can't decide. Like, I am hurt. I can't do it.
All right. So, call it heads. Who's heads?
So I'll say tails. Everybody Hates Chris, which means heads is Does that make sense?
Yep. Tails. Everybody Hates Chris. All right, here we go. I'm just let it hit the floor. Heads.
Boondocks
it is. Yeah. But that works because I think we're going to get more fight for Boondocks. Yeah. Boondocks has a better chance the next level.
Shout out
Boondocks might fuck around and see no, the next group is going to see Cosby's. Yeah, no, Boondocks going to see Cosby.
Hey,
there it is.
Might be it.
It'd be a
Boondocks has a Cosby episode. Oh, that's going to be great,
buddy.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so we have our last 2. Mm-hmm. This one's going to be good. Girlfriends versus the Bernie Mac show.
Oh, this was easy for me.
What?
Yeah, I gotta say I have to be convinced to choose Bernie at this point.
I do too.
What?
I tried on so many occasions to watch that show. I do not get it.
Okay,
it was not funny.
No, I actually like Bernie Mac's show. I thought it was good.
So I feel like I'm gonna get cooked out of black womanhood for this.
Oh man! The dark secret.
I don't even want to let you say this on air.
We trying to protect you.
This is trying to protect you. We're trying to protect our brand. Y'all know Ray was a hotel.
I prefer Bernie Mac over Girlfriends.
Wow.
I just didn't see
Here's
that.
Why.
All right.
Here's why. Bernie Mac is so much funnier than Girlfriends.
Well, yeah. I must have watched some weak ass episodes. I've only watched like maybe 4 or 5 episodes of Bernie Mac, and I did not think they were
now.
Funny.
What?
Yeah, I just.
You know what? A part of it, I feel, Feeq, is because you enjoy children.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Okay. Now, if you're watching the TV of Bernie Mac as somebody who I could fully see myself in maybe 20 years being Bernie Mac. Not so much necessarily in the sense of like, oh, my sister starts doing drugs and I have to take care of the kids. But if there was a situation where in about 20 years, I didn't have any children, my sister had kids, I grew up to be successful and rich, then my sister like dies tragically in a car crash.
Oh man, this is
I would be stuck with the kids, and this would be my life.
Okay.
And so with Girlfriends, I love this show because first of all, Black women. It was one of the first times I feel that it showed Black women as professional. So it showed the range of Black women: professional, sophisticated, bougie, hood, spiritual. I think it hit all certain points. But then it was a point in the show where I felt like the show fell off. There was a time where Joan was dating William, which I thought was super fucking weird.
Yeah, William was a weird dude bad. Altogether.
Girlfriends is how many seasons?
7, I think.
Yeah, that's a good example of a show that maybe should have did like 4 or 5.
Which is where I feel like the Bernie Mac show was. I feel like the Bernie Mac show was a show that was funny. It lasted the appropriate amount of time. It was absolutely hilarious, and I think that the comedy in this show was more subtle. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really partial to shows that have laugh tracks. Don't tell me when to laugh. I'll laugh when I'm good and fucking ready. For some shows, like I didn't feel like Girlfriends needed a laugh track. Just like I didn't.
It was born out of a slightly different era. It was kind of in that weird limbo space between, because nobody does laugh. Like there's very few shows with laugh tracks now, but that was the norm right when Girlfriends became.
Yeah, I mean, because like Girlfriends was on around the same time as King of Queens, but I felt like King of Queens' comedy was a little bit more I feel like King of Queens was a little bit more like Will and Grace, where it was more of a laugh tracky type of show. Where Girlfriends wasn't a laugh tracky type of show.
Yeah, so let me come cape for Girlfriends real quick.
I mean, you don't have to go ahead.
So number one, it's I think it was I Live in Single first of its kind.
Hello.
First of this particular kind for Black women.
Yep.
But Girlfriends took it in a direction that felt great, and so Girlfriends is what like Living Single didn't give us Insecure, but Girlfriends gave us Insecure. Does that make sense?
Right. Like Girlfriends gave Living Single, but less funny, more realistic, and moved it to LA.
Yeah.
With a little. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's a lot sexier. Like I just looked up Jill Marie Jones, who left the show like the last season. Oh my God!
Yeah, no, she was not unattractive.
Unattractive.
She reminds me a lot of Molly, actually, from Insecure facially.
She does. They do remind her facially, except Jill was stacked. Anyway,
in the mind,
and yeah,
stay in school, kids.
Totally chaps.
I love how complex the characters were. I love. It also gave us Tracy Ellis Ross. I think before this she did the Lyricist Lounge show to do a nerd deep dive.
Give us Tracy Ellis Ross. I will accept that answer.
Side profile. Is that too much?
Any profile for her. I love me some Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
And I got reverse colorism issues, but I love me some Tracy Ellis Ross.
But Tracy Ellis Ross is a thing in herself. I just feel, but Bernie Mac was so funny.
Yeah. But that being said, voting time.
Fine.
So it's gonna come down to you, Teddy, because I'm going Girlfriends. Girlfriends has the best chance against the Fresh Prince. That's still gonna be the best conversation.
Oh.
I don't think Bernie Mac's gonna stand at the Fresh Prince at all.
Listen, let me just kill the drama and say Girlfriends is definitely gonna be it for me. But love Bernie.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
I just say this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean, and your
y'all are really gonna do Bernie Mac like this? I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers.
Yeah. I told CY. CY, I told you. I'm sorry you had to work tonight that you couldn't come in and cape for your show. But I told you you shouldn't make it, nigga. It wasn't gonna make it.
All we gonna say is
I told your ass this damn show wasn't gonna get to the top 8. You wouldn't listen.
Ray, CY, your objections are duly noted. Appreciate it.
Whatever. I just feel like Bernie Mac was written by a Black person. Fucking Girlfriends was written by Kelsey Grammer.
Now you pulling out petty shit.
Right. Come on, man.
This show was a white man.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer was behind Girlfriends. And who? Larry
He didn't write
Wilmore.
it, though. He was the executive producer.
Larry
Right.
Wilmore
Larry
was
Wilmore
behind.
did, bro.
The Wire was executive produced by
Two
white
white
people.
men. Yeah.
Wire.
And New York Undercover
Yeah.
had a black producer.
Quit bringing up old shit. Okay. Okay. No.
So far,
you
I feel like
spit on Larry Wilmore's name.
yeah.
The
Larry
respect.
Wilmore, who also has a pretty good podcast, by the way. Check him out. But
Excuse me.
yeah.
Focus.
Also
No,
gave us Insecure, now that I think about it. Interesting.
No.
Yeah. So, but
You
I'm
chose-
like,
Kelsey Grammer over Larry Wilmore.
yo, Frasier is actually slept on as a sleep.
Don't bring up Fraser. Don't bring Fraser into this. We are talking about girlfriend.
No, I said
Bernie.
as a sleep aid. Like, I know somebody when they have to go to sleep, literally they turn on Netflix and play Frasier. I know that's your show. I know. I just wanted to throw that in there too. So last matchup, who we talking about?
That's it. That was the last one.
That was it.
That's the last one. So who are the Elite Eight? Let's go ahead and name them.
I'm disgusted.
But you have the list. We have to count on you.
You can do it, right?
Can't do it. Okay. So we have going into the next round in order of seeding: Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Cosby Show, Martin, Living Single, Different World, The Wire, Boondocks, and The Bernie Mac Show. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate you for being here. Oh, y'all not gonna stop me?
So the Wire versus Martin next time around.
Yeah,
Teddy, how you gonna do that?
Oh, trust. We gonna. I'm gonna work through it. I'm actually about to get off the call and pray, but real quick, the last one, it was real cute. Don't think that we missed the Bernie Mac thing, but they know what's up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to rewrite the list because apparently I did the brackets wrong. But yeah, I mean, basically there were no upsets. I think that there was a strong argument for the Boondocks.
Yeah, New York Undercover and The Wire, I think was really
New York
too.
Undercover versus The Wire. I think the Boondocks versus Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
And Girlfriends versus Bernie Mac. If I had other people on my team, I feel like would have been a better argument.
Half of success is showing up, guys.
So, fuck you, I am so upset. But yeah, Fresh Prince, Cosby, Martin, Living Single, Different World, Wire, Boondocks, and Girlfriends are all going to be going up against each other. So from my understanding, the next is going to be between the Fresh Prince and Living Single, which I am.
No. So the Fresh Prince is going to take on the worst.
It's okay. You know what? No, it's okay. We'll get it together for our Elite Eight show.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't know how to do brackets, and apparently I did it all wrong because they left me to do it. So
you couldn't help it. All right. So we appreciate y'all listening.
I really had no idea. I was really confident in my bracket.
The first bracket was great. It's just the second bracket, and that happens to everybody.
So we appreciate y'all listening. We are gonna have a post in the Facebook group.
This is your chance to come back and make us reconsider. We're probably not, but if you thought that.
Listen.
Maybe something like New York Undercover took an L way too early and you wanted to donate enough money to change our minds.
To put your cape on for the Burning Mac show.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Our patrons actually are included to have 2 votes, just to let you know. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up, guys. Good show. Yeah. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next Blacketology. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.